Is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. Ma'am, next slide. Okay, so design thinking for everyday life. How we will use it in everyday life? Who says that we can only use it in our workplace? The story of how I utilize this framework to solve my everyday problem and how you can do it too. So in your instead of workspace, you can also use it in your daily life. It's hot. It's hot. So you can use the coffee cup or you can say you use pizza boxes. So whether the problem is burning your hand or your coffee cup or keeping your pizza hot, this innovation has got you covered. Innovative pizza box packing, how it keeps your pizza hot for 30 minutes. So this is the innovation in food also, innovative pizza box packaging. Domino's and Pizza Box, Domino's Pizza have used innovative pizza box packaging. In this packaging, they use the corrugated boxes inside this. One next slide. This is the pizza box packaging. This is the corrugated pizza box that create the small ridges that keeps your pizza hot through insulation of the heat. So this pizza box is a balancing act in the proportions, which will maintain the right amount of heat and it will release the right amount of steam and it will keep your pizza hot for your 30 minutes. So in innovation is in also the food technology, also your Costa coffee cup, that is the Costa Coffee Cup. Costa Coffee Cup, you see that your hand is not burning after holding the coffee cup. So Costa Coffee implements the same principle of corrugation to not only keep the drink in there to go cups warm, but also prevents burning while holding the cup, as the resist prevents the direct contact with the hot cups. Recently, we studied that Costa Coffee customers will be able to pay and top up their balance on their Clever Cup. This was a study article on in October 2022, in which there was a Barclaycard contactless payment technology, which offers Costa Coffee customers to pay and top up their balance on their Clever Cup. So this new technology not allows users only to pay, but will also allow them to track their spending and block or cancel contactless payment elements online or with the dedicated app. So Costa Coffee with this innovation hope that their Clever Cup will encourage more customers to use their reusable cup regularly, cutting down number of throwaway cups used, and it plans to selling it in stores immediately with the price tag of $14.99. So managing director Jason Kota said that this initiative shows that Costa Coffee is committed to reducing the number of takeaways cup being wasted and reward customers that help this. So Clever Cup will become an additional incentive for increasing the use of reusable cups. So many innovations are also coming in their food also, in the Costa Coffee also. Next, Yippee noodles. Noodles are perfectly in shape. Wow, why they are round in shape? As you said, that Maggi noodles will break. Uh, when we break, there was no fun. So Yippee decided that there will be how we will create the innovation in this. So if it will be the more long and slurpy noodle experience, then customer will enjoy it through our round block noodles or the recent launch of quick meals in the bowl format. Every product offering is a thoughtfully developed and it is an innovation in the food technology. So Yippee is a good brand and nearly rupees 1300 crore brand in terms of consumer spends. With the small innovations, Yippee has increased its sales according to the customer demands, as customers will enjoy the quick meals in a bowl format and they will enjoy the slurpy and the long noodles. So it will be round in the shape. So just doing a small change in or small innovation in the noodles, you can enjoy the longer and the less clumpy noodles. Next, you can see that. So this is the innovation in butter lid also. This is a small butter lid. So in this can be used as a knife. So the perfect butter lid, it will is a small innovation. Sometimes we find that there is no knife available near to us. So if we want to apply the butter to our bread or our chapatis, then we can use this lid as a knife and then we can use directly apply the butter on our rotis and bread. So this is also the small innovation. So we can say that The small innovations in food helps us a lot in the daily life. Next, Spotify. Have everyone has heard about the Spotify? So what is the Spotify innovation? Spotify learned that people for the most part are not interested in owning music. It's not about the owning records or CD. They don't even want to store music on their hard disk. This entails work on their end. So Spotify innovation. So this is the difference between downloading and song and streaming the same song is becoming blurry. So this is a Spotify innovation. So design thinking, why are the Apple product differ from the competed product? How does Apple manage to achieve innovation in its product families? As you see, Apple launches its product, Apple 6, Apple 6s, Apple 7. Apple is now launching next product. So what is the innovation in Apple? Can anyone tell me what is the innovation in Apple? Why Apple is famous? So innovation in Apple. So from Mac OS Bixler to iOS 14, iPad OS 14, Watch OS 7, and TV OS 14. So there are new announcements. Apple kicked off all online worldwide developers conference, and now they have new app library iOS 14 and nice handwriting capabilities with Apple Pencils in iPad OS 14. So here are the some major innovations by the Apple. App Library iOS 14 automatically organizes all the user apps into one single easy to navigate view and intelligently surface apps that may be helpful in a moment. So app clips designed to be discovered the moment load a small part of app experience within the second to complete a specific task such as renting a scooter, purchasing a coffee, booking a taxi, or filling a parking meter. So how Netflix uses design thinking to reinvent itself over and over? Can anyone tell me how Netflix uses it? Okay, Netflix is growing day by day. Within the past, they say decade, you can say there is not a better example of a business that has pivoted on the basis of customer preferences. Now, Netflix, you had to drive to the Blockbuster to get to the latest new releases on the video or the DVDs. And in the early days, Netflix was a service that delivered movies to the customer direct to your doorstep by mail. That was an innovative model until cable companies started offering movies on demand. Then why should someone order from Netflix and wait a few days when they would stream a movie anytime? So while the Blockbuster held fast to the business model, Netflix pivoted using design thinking to become an on-demand streaming site in response to cable competition and more importantly to its customer needs and expectations. So in short, students, from design thinking process helps us in different areas. From the project management perspective, it enabled us to clearly define the scope of the project and prevent scope creep. From the business perspective, it allows us to pick the features which bring the real value to the business. From the development perspective, it helps us see the clear goal of what we have to build before we ever start building it. From the team perspective, it involved all the team members and allowed them to efficiently work together and have their opinion heard in every part of the process. So design thinking and innovations helps us in different areas in every perspective, from the marketing perspective, from the project perspective, from the business perspective, and from the team's perspective also. Yes, students, any questions?
Any question any participants want to ask? One information I would like to share with the students that MIC has launched a scheme under the name of Kapila, where this anyone can think of the new ideas and can implement it, and then get it patent and get it published.
Excuse me, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, Starbucks has in the recent times done an innovation that nowadays they are, printing the name of the customer on the cup. So can it be considered a design thinking, or is it just a marketing tactic?
It can be thinking as a design thinking, because the customer wants to see, like if you are in an office environment and you are sharing yeah, or you are having your teas or coffees with the team, and you want your cup not to be used by the another person, so that may be the requirement of the customers, and the solution was given by customize the cups. Or you see that there are like solutions by printing even the pictures on the cups. Number of peoples are trying to give such gift items to the kids as well as the elder one in their family by printing the memorable pics on their mugs, and they are just using the same cup for the decorating purpose as well. So this, they have captured a good portion of the market. So I would say that this can be a design process. This is a good design thinking, and they have captured the percentage of the market.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
And also the brand awareness also. Everyone will like have the cup with their names also.
If participants have any queries regarding the session, they may ask or they can write it in the chat box. Ma'am will address their queries.
I was asking the scheme of the Kapila. The Kapila is the scheme जो गवर्नमेंट ने MIC ने लॉन्च करी है, जिसमें स्टूडेंट्स और anyone who can think about the new ideas. Even the recently, I think 6 to 7 month back, the government has launched one scheme for designing the games with the name of the Taekhathon, where various teams have been called for different games. Through games, you can explore the different ideas. There were games like academic games. There were games for Indian tour, Indian heritage tour. So could participate. Basically, our Prime Minister wants to be self-employed. Rather than getting the jobs, you can be the one who can provide jobs to the another persons. So it's like teamwork. So you can find out the new ideas from your surroundings as well. The only thing is to see the things with different perspectives that we have discussed earlier. It is all depends upon the perspective, how you are seeing your surroundings, with which perspective, and then try to getting the information from the surroundings, or observe the people's what are the different problems they are facing. Just like a few days back, my daughter has told me that why can't the fridge tell us that this thing is going to be end, so we can order the things that are not in the inventory. So automatically, by instead of doing it on person, the sensor can tell us that this thing is less in number, so order it within 3 or 4 days. So these are the solutions, like things can be done.
Recently, a girl in Punjab has came up with an idea that why in the public spaces we have the idea to have reversible benches at the public spaces, so that if they become wet due to the rains or they become dirty, they can be rotated using a handle, so that the other side which comes up can be used. So this is a small innovation in daily life also, which or a small idea which came in our mind, and that becomes the innovation.
Similarly, during the COVID scenario, you have heard about the courier services. Various number of courier services now has come out after the COVID. Earlier, we were using it only for delivering the some goods to our dear ones, Anna. But nowadays, these courier services have been used to supply the foods for the needy one during the COVID. The old age people or the the single person who is stuck in their houses and is in isolation, they are supplied foods during these apps, during these courier services. So it's like, think out of the box. What is the solution in your hand? And those solutions, can those solutions be supplied to various different problems, or what are the various different problems which you can target to solve? So it's totally about the observation, what you are observing and from which point of view you are observing those different areas. So as a young generation, I believe your brains are more creative, more innovative as compared to ours. So you can think of the various angles, various problems, and then target the various solutions of the problems. So that was the main motive of this session, to initiate the spark in you. So if anyone have any other query related to this, even the current companies are also looking for the various different mindset people who can look at the various area of the business. How can they increase the growth of the business rather than the existing solution? How different areas can be approached? Just like in the case of the Wavin plumber company, they are not now offering the only the plumbing products, but also the solutions. How can they launch their products? How can their products can be used? They are coaching, they are giving coaching to the plumbers. So these are the different perspective of the same problem. So I think, thank you.
I hope we are done with all the queries from the audience. Thank you, Dr. Pooja Gupta ma'am and Ms. Ruchi Goyal ma'am. Before concluding,
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Short
yes, you
one.
can.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, a couple of weeks ago, I was reading a design book about from the writer Bill Burnett, a Stanford professor. So he said a very, counterintuitive thing, that sometimes, of course, you have to take design as a life problem, and you can go through the process, and you always have to reframe the thing. That is, he gave an example that you should design your life, and people always say that, what should I grow up? What should I do when I grow up? And then he said that the example of this reframe is that you can say, what should I grow into? That we should never lose our growth. That growing up is not a sort of thing, growing into is the thing. So then, and in the next chapter, he said that we should, sometimes we should give up problems. We call them gravity problems and we can't change them. So since the thing of designing and business in general is relentless persuasion and drive, how can we manage the things? That how can we know that this is not for us, or are we not trying hard enough? What's the difference between this thing?
So you want to ask what is going into?
No, ma'am. How should we know that the design that our design is coming up on, that our design and strategic thinking is growing, or that it is just not for us, that the thing we are working is not for us?
It is from the customer perspective, or from the opinions, or from the feedback. If we design any product and we launch in the market, then how we came to know about whether it is growing or not? We will take the feedback from the customers, or from, like, for example, your Amazon, Flipkarts, what they are using the recommender systems, right? Right, student?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
They are using the recommender system and they are taking the feedbacks in the form of opinions, right? From that, they are segregating the positive and opinion and negative opinion and also the neutral ones. So the designers will aim into a, so good, as ma'am already told, that good design is possible without understanding the principles of design. But it may take a lot of trial and error to create something that both look good and creates an optimal user experience. From the feedbacks, from the opinions, from the customer feedbacks, only then you can take the feedback and then only you can get into the touch whether the design is successful or not, because every element of design, typography, color, image, shape, pattern carry a visual weight, right? Some elements are heavy and draw the eye while other elements are lighter. So how these elements are laid out on a page, that will definitely create, I think, a feeling of balance. And that is symmetrical or asymmetrical, that depends on the, I think, user perspective. Some find it symmetrical and some will find it asymmetrical. And from the measure opinion, you will decide that your design is successful or not. And that's why the products like Apple and other products are launching their products day by day. Versions are launching day by day. That is the, I think, only reason.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
Your
ma'am,
query
for taking
answered
the query.
well. Vivek,
Yes, ma'am.
is your query answered well?
Yes, ma'am. It is answered well. Of course, I have to now think more about
There
it.
are
But
some,
yeah.
if you are looking for some good books for the business perspective, there are one book naming the design of everyday things by Don Norman. You can get it, note down, the design of everyday things by Don Norman.
Okay, ma'am. The design of everyday thing by Don Norman.
The another one is design a better business, new tools, skills, and mindset for strategy and innovation.
Okay, ma'am. Design the better business.
Design a better business. Design a
Okay,
better
ma'am.
business. You can get the e-copy easier of both the books.
Okay, ma'am.
The design and better business was by Patrick Mann.
Okay, ma'am. Patrick Mann.
And there are some other books, good books are also there from the business perspective point of view. You can note it down my email ID and can mail me if you have further queries.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm writing in the chat box. This is my email ID.
Okay, ma'am.
Any more questions, students?
Any more queries? I hope there are no queries, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I would like to request everyone to switch on their cameras so that we can capture this wonderful moment. Everyone kindly switch on their cameras.
Okay, I think it has been taken now. So Komal, you can go ahead, please.
So now in the end, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to every participant for making this event a success. Our event owes the majority of its success to the enthusiasm which was shown by all the participants who joined for this event. Thank you, everyone. So now I would like to invite Dr. Yogita Batra ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Komal. So, well, first of all, let me thank our guests, Dr. Pooja Gupta and Ms. Ruchi Goyal for this excellent session on design thinking and innovation. Ma'am, you explained this concept very beautifully and with the help of so many, examples and case studies. So I was also engrossed with what you were explaining. And the example of Apple and the kind of the question your daughter was asking about the refrigerator thing. Well, it's something to think about and would provoke some innovative ideas. So, well, it was really an excellent and engrossing session, ma'am. So thank you so much for that, both of you, really. And I'm sure our students also must have learned a lot. And though, it's kind of a festive time, we are celebrating Independence Day and Har Ghar Tiranga and everything. So maybe it was, well, on their part, it was not that interactive, but you tried very hard to, do some interaction with them and to ask them questions. Though in the end, they were curious about many things. So, well, it was really a beautiful session, ma'am. And so I thank you for sparing your valuable time and sharing your wisdom with all of us. And I also thank our students who came together to learn from these two experts for today, and they also participated really well. So I'm really thankful to them, and I'm also thankful to university administration for giving us this opportunity to organize this session. So thank you so much, ma'am. Again, Dr. Pooja Gupta and Ms. Ruchi Goyal. Thank you really.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, ma'am, pleasure is ours, really. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Komal, also for conducting this session very nicely. Thanks a lot. And Chirag and Khushi for doing the back-end work. So I'm really thankful to both of you as well and other students as well. So, well, thank you and have a nice weekend, all of you, I guess. Well, and happy Independence Day in advance.
Happy Independence Day.
Happy
Happy Independence Day. to you.
Yeah. So thank you. See you around, ma'am. Sometimes we would like to invite you over physically and would interact with you more.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Well, I think now we are going to end this meeting.